Have you ever heard the saying, "Don't set yourself on fire to warm another"? It is a powerful reminder, connected to ancient Stoic philosophy, to be perceived as kind, and to always be the one who gives. Many have distorted the noble act of kindness into a self-destructive sacrifice. But what is the cost? The truth is that too much kindness, when it drains your own resources, energy, and well-being, is not a virtue, but a path to destruction. Many have lost their way by giving so much of themselves that they feel empty. Be inestimably kind, but also kind to yourself. Stoicism teaches us the art of balanced generosity, ensuring that our actions enrich and protect our own well-being. In this video, we'll reveal how Stoic principles can help you set healthy boundaries so that your kindness becomes a source of strength rather than depletion. We'll explore how to give without losing, love without being vulnerable, and be present in your own life. Let's begin with the saying, "Don't set yourself on fire to warm others." Excessive kindness can become a trap, something Marcus Aurelius, the wise Stoic philosopher, would have warned against. Imagine yourself as someone who is always rushing to help others, never saying no. It's as if you are giving away pieces of yourself until there is nothing left of you. You become someone who is always there for others, but when you look back at your own needs, it's not just about being kind. It's also about being kind to yourself. Marcus would remind us that our first duty is to look out for our own well-being. Without this, we cannot be genuinely there for others. Consider the story of two neighboring gardeners, one of whom meticulously tended his own garden, while the other, despite having his own plot, often tended everyone else's gardens. The hard-working gardener understood the importance of self-care and the proper balance of attention and resources, which resulted in a vibrant and blooming space. This gardener's land was not only a source of personal joy, but also provided surplus produce for sharing with neighbors. On the other hand, the gardener who gave disproportionately spent so much time and effort on the gardens of others that his own land was neglected without proper care. His garden withered and his harvest was meager. In his eagerness to be useful, he overlooked his own needs, leaving his garden and metaphorically himself depleted. About the need to think before rushing to help others. Ask yourself, is this help sustainable? Am I preserving my well-being? The ancient Stoics would encourage us to practice Stoicism by setting healthy boundaries and making sure that in our desire to be kind, we remember to be kind to ourselves. After all, you cannot give from an empty vessel. Stoicism teaches us to maintain inner peace and wholeness while contributing positively, ensuring a balanced and satisfying life, both for yourself and those you wish to help. Reciprocity has an expiration date. Generosity is a virtue that enriches our lives and the lives of those around us. However, it contains a subtle pitfall when without moderation. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that still resonates with its wisdom in our modern world, teaches us a critical lesson about the limits of kindness. Offering help with an open heart is noble, but expecting the same measure of generosity in return can lead us down a path of disappointment. Life has a way of showing us that the good done today may be forgotten tomorrow. This is not a reflection of our worth or the value of our actions, but rather the natural course of human memory and gratitude. Consider the act of giving as a tree you care for in the hope that it will grow and perhaps one day offer shade or fruit, but nature takes its course. Storms, droughts, and the changing of the seasons. Similarly, when we show kindness, we must let go of the expectation of direct return. The Stoics, especially Epictetus, advise us to focus on our actions, not the results. Some things are within our control and others are not. He said this by reminding us that the joy of giving should come from the act itself, not the expectation of reward. Adopting this mentality protects us from the sting of unfulfilled expectations and teaches us emotional resilience, allowing us to remain kind and generous without feeling depleted or exploited. This does not mean that we should harden our hearts, but rather that we should see our acts of kindness as a reflection of our character rather than a transaction. In this way, we not only protect our peace of mind, but we cultivate a form of generosity that is pure, self-sufficient, and genuinely satisfying. This Stoic principle encourages us to give freely, but wisely, reassuring us that our kindness enriches us regardless of the world's reaction. In your daily interactions, adhere to the principle of giving without expectation. Think of a specific scenario where you could offer kindness or support without seeking anything in return, and consider practical steps you could take to make sure your generosity remains a source of personal fulfillment rather than depletion. The requests received have no limits. The stories surprise us from dressing to personal hygiene. Everything was performed by servants. Fast forward to today, and it is clear that people still have expectations of us, often asking for services they could well perform themselves. Stoicism illuminates this by teaching us the value of setting boundaries and embracing moderation. This ancient philosophy allows us to act with intention and preserve our emotional well-being. Stoicism is not about denying help, but about finding balance by making sure we don't lose ourselves by supporting others. Take for example the touching story of a mother and her adult daughter in a picturesque village. The mother cared for her daughter out of love in such a way that she became the catalyst for her daughter's independence. This story underscores a critical lesson. While our intentions may be pure, over-support can inadvertently stifle growth. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, encapsulated this wisdom in his reflections. The task of the individual is to stand upright without kicking everyone out of his life, but with a deep knowledge of human connection. Noticing that someone who begins to be your friend for the sake of gain will also cease to be one for the same reason. This serves as a powerful reminder to nurture relationships based on genuine connections, not transactional interactions. Stoicism teaches us to value ourselves not for what we can give, but for who we are, cultivating us to embrace moderation, setting boundaries to protect our well-being while offering genuine support to others. By prioritizing our responsibilities and values, we not only maintain our authenticity, but also participate in more meaningful acts of generosity. This balanced approach to life and relationships ensures that we remain true to ourselves and our values, leading lives of virtue and fulfillment as we navigate through the demands of modern life. Let's remember that being attentive to our own needs is not selfishness, but a necessary act of self-care. Stoicism teaches us a powerful lesson in inner resilience and self-control. It's about building an inner fortress, perfecting the art of self-restraint, and drawing clear lines in the sand that define our personal space. Over time, constantly bending over backwards for the sake of others, ironically, can lead to us being perceived as weak. Without firm boundaries, we become vulnerable, easily exploited. Our generosity is not perceived as strength, but as an opportunity to be taken advantage of. This cycle of overexpansion and exploitation drains us, leaving us feeling unappreciated. Saying no with confidence is a change. We are no longer the primary resource for every request or demand. This confidence conveys a new respect for ourselves, igniting respect in return. Cicero, the luminary of Roman philosophy, concluded this when he stated that what you think of yourself is far more important than what others think of you. By setting boundaries and practicing self-discipline, we not only protect our mental and emotional well-being, but we also demand respect from those around us. Remember, saying no is a sign of self-respect and a testament to the respect you demand from the world. Embrace this mantra and watch how it reshapes your interactions, fostering mutual respect based on dignity and self-worth. Embodying this change is not without challenges. Being always available is a harsh reality where your openness can lead to exclusion from moments of joy, limiting you to the role of a helper absent during leisure time. This realization, while bittersweet, serves as a test of discerning authentic connections from casual ones. Did you know that practicing boundary setting, a central Stoic principle, not only improves our personal well-being but also enhances the quality of our relationships? It's a curious but true aspect of human psychology. When we respect ourselves enough to say no, we often earn respect. This paradoxical effect emphasizes the formative power of self-respect and discernment. By embracing Stoic wisdom, we not only protect ourselves from exhaustion but also cultivate relationships that are truly enriching and reciprocal. If you've learned something valuable, put a like to show your support. Now let's discuss strategies to avoid being taken advantage of by others and the dangers of excessive kindness. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so we can share more. First strategy, get rid of the fear of saying no. Think deeply about why the word no often feels so heavy, tracing its gravity back to early lessons that were equated to our formative years of fear of rejection, forming a belief system that links our worth to constant assent. However, the philosophy of Stoicism invites us to challenge and dismantle these ingrained perceptions, advocating a life of conscious choice rather than a life guided by the currents of the past. As adults, we have the autonomy to redefine our interactions, recognizing that fears are tools for analyzing our emotions, allowing us to respond to the demands of life with reflection rather than succumbing to the control of past habits. Asserting boundaries by saying no, especially when requests violate our well-being or sense of justice, becomes not only an act of challenging old fears, but also a profound exercise in self-respect and autonomy. However, it is crucial to balance our confidence with empathy and emotional intelligence. Stoicism does not advocate solely self-interest or isolation, but emphasizes the importance of contributing to our community and the lives of those around us. Philosophy encourages us to find a middle ground where we can offer help and support to others without sacrificing our well-being. This is where emotional intelligence comes in, allowing us to discern when and how to help in a way that is beneficial to others and sustainable for us. Recognizing the true needs of others while remaining conscious of our own boundaries is evidence of true Stoic wisdom. This ensures that our acts of kindness are not only acts of self-discipline, but also acts of compassion and understanding, contributing to a society where mutual respect and support flourish. Second strategy, pay attention to your feelings. Adopting Stoicism pushes us toward introspection and mindfulness, guiding us to scrutinize our thoughts and emotions, which promotes mental stability. This ancient wisdom encourages us to become guardians of our inner peace by observing our reactions and feelings, especially in acts of generosity. It teaches us that the true satisfaction of giving lifts us up like the lifting power of clouds. In contrast, feelings of exhaustion, irritation, or exploitation signal the need to recalibrate. Though not necessary, they begin to undermine our peace of mind. Recognizing this discomfort is not self-defeating, but a raw act of self-care, turning giving into a source of joy rather than a burden on our spirits. Third strategy, consider yourself a priority. It's easy to become a master of the least lit areas, but to completely ignore your own well-being, reflecting the Stoic virtues of discipline and self-respect. Making time for self-care. Stoicism ultimately nourishes the soul, teaching us the art of self-preservation. Just as you care for your physical, emotional, and mental health, recognize your presence and elevate your needs. This approach requires your total commitment. Accept yourself whole, forgive yourself for past mistakes, and see the coming year as a canvas for your rebirth. Offer help within your limitations, emphasizing that your personal rebirth takes priority. Fourth strategy, identify those who take advantage of you. Embracing Stoic virtues such as self-discipline and discernment gives us the power to discern to whom our attention, time, and resources reflect the dynamics in which we find ourselves depleted. Our energy is drained by insatiable need. Stoicism teaches us the value of inner strength, reminding us that change is a door that only one can open. The belief that we can transform is a personal journey set in motion by individual will, not external interventions. This philosophy does not advocate indifference, but advocates a balanced approach to relationships. It is a dance of giving and receiving where excessive generosity can leave us empty while stinginess isolates us. Stoicism inspires us to use our capacity for kindness and generosity, but also to wield the sword of discernment, severing ties when necessary for our well-being. It's about finding balance, making sure that our acts of kindness are not done at the expense of our own vitality. Remember that the strongest relationships are those where both parties grow, not those where one fades so that the other can blossom. Stoicism encourages us to find balance, forcing us to carefully evaluate our actions and their effects. It emphasizes the importance of maintaining balance, encouraging us not to deplete our resources to the detriment of our primary goal of living a fulfilling life. On the other hand, he warns against being overly cautious in our giving, suggesting instead that we use our generosity wisely. Seneca, the luminary of Stoic thought, captures this ethical code perfectly. Kindness is a treasure. Goodness should be kept as a legitimate treasure, ready to be used when needed. His words inspire us to be willing to act charitably, recognizing the deep bond that connects all people. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you find these tips valuable. Consider sharing it with those who need to view it, and express your opinion in the comments section, as wisdom must be shared in order to blossom. Comment on "I am a Stoic," and I will know you have watched to the end. Now, whether you choose the path of Stoicism right or left, you have 2 Stoic videos to enjoy. Until next time.